Kia ora. My name is Tanya Bat and I'm the Creative Director of the Once Upon an Island Trust. With the support of the Waiheke local board, putting on what's been our traditional Christmas parade that's been part of our community for many years. This year it's taking a slightly different flavour, focus. It's been celebrated as a fossil fuel free Fiesta, which is a creative challenge to our community to celebrate Christmas and all its diversity, but think about how we can actually move from the top of Oniroa High Street down to the bottom without using petrol and diesel. It's not so much that the Once Upon an Island Trust is actually putting on a parade, we're facilitating a process by which the community can actually create and participate in this event and express something about what Christmas and summer and the festive holidays means here on our motu.
Do you feel that the no fossil fuel thing might be overshadowing the event this year perhaps, and overshadowing the Christmassy aspect of it all?
Fossil fuels are so entangled in our lives, it's impossible really at this point in time to live a life that is fossil fuel free when you think about our fibres and our food production and our modes of transport. So one thing about having as a focus is it creates conversations around what kind of future we might be thinking of having as a community, where we're heading. But for me, the kaupapa of this particular focus can really be well summed up in a whakatauki that I actually heard yesterday when I was at one of the local primary schools, which is about, it goes manaki whenua, manaki tangata, haere whakamua. So it's about caring for our earth, caring for our people, and together we will move forward. And we all know we've been given 12 years basically now to lower our CO2 emissions. The writing's on the wall, and this is our chance to actually celebrate what we're capable of doing as a community, to actually putting our best foot forward and embracing a cleaner, greener future, not just for ourselves but for our tamariki and our future generations. For me, historically, all of our human celebrations have been about connecting ourselves with our environment. Christmas was built on the back of solstice. It's a Christian celebration as well, but older than that, it's a solstice celebration. And our harvest celebrations all connected us to the earth and our relationship that we had, and also reminded us of our vulnerability in that relationship as well. We're only as healthy as the earth that we live upon. So I think there's no better time to have that conversation. You know, Christmas is about coming together with those that we love, and this celebration is about extending that circle of love beyond our immediate friends and family into our community, and even broader still to our earth. We have about 35 different entries from educational groups on the island, from local businesses, from inspired individuals. We've got the Waitakere brass band who are here doing a fundraiser for the hospice, and they're very kindly leading off our parade, which will be very exciting to have one of the top New Zealand brass bands trumpeting. So basically it's going to be a very long procession down the high street of people in wheelbarrows and bicycles and trolleys and on their legs. There's going to be a big present of EVs, electric vehicles, this year. Waiheke has just announced recently that they have an intention to electrify our transport by 2030 with an initiative called Electric Island. So this is a great time to actually see that in action at our community Christmas celebration. So the actual parade is a great match and celebration of that aspiration. And thinking about that as we create, so a lot of the things that we're creating, we're looking at best sustainable practices. So we just don't want to create more rubbish at the end of the parade. So we're looking to upcycle, recycle, use natural materials, put a greater emphasis on performance
rather than product, the actual experience and the process. And so we've been very fortunate. The actual event itself is funded by the Waiheke local board, but we've also received some Creative Communities funding, which means we've been able to work with different community groups and have conversations around what they'd like to create and work with them to actually realise what they've imagined. So we've got Lindsay Champion and Dell. They're actually working with a group of women creating some fabulous flouncy natural material frocks that will be ridden in the parade. And we've got Nuroa, who is working with a group of parents, mums and small children. All the babies have been born in the last year on the island, the Y babies, and they're pimping up their prams using recycled cardboard from our transfer station. And it was wonderful to have live music and performance as kind of part of what we're doing.
For this year's parade, we've got 3 judges, 3 wise women that we've enlisted, though of course everyone who participates in the parade is a winner, because that's the cool thing as a community coming together and creating. And our 3 judges are Marama Davidson, who's the co-leader of the Green Party. We've got Nikki Kay from the National Party and Helen White from the Labour Party. And what I think is really cool about this is really what we're endeavouring to explore and celebrate goes beyond political parties. You know, this is a challenge that we face as a human species, and you know, we can't spend a lot of time pointing fingers at each other. We just got to get on with dealing with what needs doing. Yeah, what would they be judging? That's right, because that's the thing, you know, about making prizes and judging. And so this year, the criteria are a little bit different. In the past, we've had prizes for best community and best educational. But reflecting the focus of this year's parade, we've got sort of a prize for the most creative, and a prize for innovation, and a prize for sustainability, and a prize for performance, because there's a much greater focus this year on the performance aspect and less on the actual product. So the whole kaupapa of the parade, we've encouraged groups to really think mindfully about what they use to actually create the parade, and we've been really well supported by our transfer station and the free shop. We've been borrowing, they've been digging things out for us, so a lot of what we've created has been upcycled and recycled, and will go back into recycling, will go to a good home at the end of the parade. Well, Merry Christmas to us all here on the Motu and in the wider world, and it's a great time to remember peace on earth and goodwill to each other, and looking forward to a cleaner, greener future. So of course none of this would be possible without all the people in the community, all the people who are willing to participate, all the volunteers that come together to help with the marshalling, and section leaders, and all the people who volunteer their time and resources and materials, and the local board funding and Creative Communities funding we have. So we're very grateful.